guys love their tropical fish buddies. They enjoy watching them swim around. They love the different colors and shapes. And man, feeding the fishes is an event that we all enjoy every day together.
But I ain't no fool. Of course they want to eat them.
Well, maybe not so much anymore, but deep down inside they do. We all know cats eat fish in real life, folks, so you may not want to try this at home. You see, when I got Batman and Robin, Batman was 6 months old, and Robin was 3 months old, and Bruh-Man was 2 months old when I got him. So they all grew up from babies, seeing these fish in these tanks before they were even old enough to get close to them. I've had 4 fish tanks running since they hit my spot. It's all they know. Plus, my tanks are sizable and well secured with lids and everything. So after a while, after they figured out they couldn't get to the fish, I guess they started to be entertained by them. But oh, in the back of their mind.
But I say all that to say that just because my cats are okay with fish doesn't mean that yours will be. Every cat is different, and every situation is different. Be careful with it. Oh, but we had some fun.
Now, if you've been watching lately, you probably noticed a fish tank in the background a time or two. Now remember, I recently just moved to this new area, but tropical fish is in my blood. It wasn't gonna take me long. Now, with the exception of the couple of years that I lived in Indiana, I have never not had a fish tank since I was like in the 7th grade. And y'all can see the gray in the beard. So it wasn't gonna take me long to find a solid fish store that I can get down with, you know? That's where we're on our way to now. Now, if you watch me, I know you like cats. Hopefully there's some cat lovers out there. But you know, I am an animal lover. So if it's some animal lovers out there and you don't know a lot about fish, hopefully you can learn something today. Now let's start off with some African cichlids. These are haps right here. These guys get to be pretty big. But this one in particular is called a venustus. I really love these guys, man. You gotta have a pretty big tank to deal with these jokers, but they're really beautiful fish. Here's the large version of them right here. See the green guy? And that's just like medium size, so they get pretty big. Okay, and here is another African cichlid called a frontosa. These are really popular in the hobby. I never wanted to get them because this is the big version of this guy. And he's only like a third of how big he can get. These fish get really big. So Batman, why you like fish so much? So now we enter into what's called South American cichlids. Okay, this is a whole nother region of the world. We have here what's called a blood parrot. Beautiful fish. And these are some baby red spot severums. Y'all gonna hear about them some more today. Some beautiful discus. Albino pleco. Bro, man, why you like fish so much? And now we made our way over to the salt water. The salt water is the most beautiful fish in the world, but they live in salt water, which is harder to maintain. I've had salt water before. I plan on having it again, but right here, what we have is a beautiful clownfish. Look at that guy. He's beautiful. This is called a parrotfish right here. And then you have these little guys, they're called damsels. They keep the water at good levels for the other fish. They're beautiful in their own right. This guy's not too happy. And then we got this beautiful angelfish here. Look at that guy with the blue lips. These are some of the most beautiful fish in the world. Hey, back at home. And I want to finally show y'all the tank that I've been working on for the last 2 months. So here it is, my masterpiece. I didn't want to show it before it was done. This is art to me. I've been doing it for a long time. After you have the vision, it takes some time to find the right pieces to create it. Then, especially in this case, it takes some time to find the fish. But I do this, y'all. It's one of my passions. So let's break this fish tank down for y'all. Now, this won't be like Funny Cats and Fish Tanks Part 1, where I had pet names for all the fish and everything. I had those fish for years. So I developed their names over time from observing their personalities. I just set up this one. So I'm gonna put y'all up on game about the kind of fish and all of that. Now, I'll put the link to Funny Cats and Fish Tanks Part 1 in the description. So the concept of this tank, first of all, is peaceful cichlid tank. Now let me explain. Cichlids and peaceful is an oxymoron. Cichlids are very aggressive fish. Whether they come from South America, Central America, or Africa, one of the things about cichlids is that they're territorial and aggressive. Now, there are cichlids that are peaceful, but developing a community with cichlids is a first for me. But over time, and I guess a little age, all of the fighting and scrapping and all of that, I just wanted to set up a tank. Even though I love cichlids, I wanted some peace. So first up, with these peaceful cichlids, I'm gonna start out with these guys. They are what's called electric blue Acara. Okay? These guys are territorial, but they are good in a community like this. I got 3 of them in here. Next up, I got this guy. He's the Jura Pari. He is only one of them. Now, his name means demon
earth eater. And earth eater means, let's see if he'll eat the earth. But they always kind of filter the sand. They eat the sand looking for food constantly. But this is a peaceful fish. I don't know why they call him the demon, because he's far from that. But he's a unique guy, kind of hard to find. And he gets like 12 inches long, so I didn't want to have more than one of him in here. But that's that guy. Next up, see these little white fish? It's 3 of them in there. There's another one. It's 3 of them in there. Those are called Albino Threadfin Acara. So like the electric blue Acara, they are in the same family, but obviously a different fish. Now these fish are, now let me just say this, all of these fish, let me back up, get at least, like the electric blue Acara, they get like 6 inches. The albino ones, they get like 8 inches. But a lot of these fish get like 10 inches, 12 inches. This is a 90-gallon tank, by the way. This is a pretty big tank. But these little white guys, along with most of these fish, I'm getting them as babies, and I want them to grow and form a community. But you can't really see how beautiful they're gonna be when they get older. I'll add that right here. But moving on. Next you have the Siamese algae eaters. There's 3 of them. Y'all see those guys? Those are algae eaters. Now, if you know anything about fish, you know algae grows, and it's important to have fish in there that can eat that stuff. Most of the time when we think about algae eaters, we think about the plecos, are the little fish that has like suck on the side of the tank. I do have one of those, and I'm gonna talk about him next. But these guys, even though the plecos are more famous or more common, I should say, these guys, these Siamese algae eaters, they don't really look like algae eaters. But in the fish tank world, these are the most effective algae eaters. These guys are the best. So for this size tank, you need something like that to keep it clean. Now, I mentioned a pleco. I have a pleco. He was like the last fish I was trying to find. And these guys hide, so I knew I might not be able to find him at filming this. But this guy is not your average pleco. He is a green phantom pleco. He is rare and hard to find. And with this setup and thing I'm putting together, I wanted something unique and special. This guy is special. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you the one I have, but here is what he looks like. Yeah, that's hot. And lastly, guys, the stars of the show. In the peaceful cichlid world, the stars of that world are something called severums. Now, this is actually a Severum tank. The other members of the tank I just introduced you all are co-stars. So let me introduce y'all to the stars. Now, see this guy here with the stripes on him? That's called a Turquoise Severum. Now remember, these are babies. So he's not turquoise right now, but at about 9 months old, they start to get their color, and he is going to be beautiful. The one next to him is called a red shoulder severum. Okay, and as it sounds, when he gets an adult, his shoulders are going to be red along with the rest of his color. He's truly, truly beautiful. This guy, yeah, they look similar because that's a severum too. That's called a golden severum. He's beautiful, isn't he? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the star of the show. The reason I wanted this tank is to get this guy right here. That's called a red spot severum. When he becomes an adult, he's one of the most beautiful fish I've ever seen. Now, saltwater are the most beautiful fish, and it's hard to find these colors in freshwater, but guys, this is a star. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed meeting a new part of our family. And always, I have to remind you to treat all of your animals well. They didn't ask to be there with you, but now all they have is you. Treat them like family, fam.